Hey everyone, welcome to the Raw Reset. I'm Amber and I'm on a journey to lose 100 pounds naturally utilizing the raw food lifestyle. I'm currently on 30 days almost of eating nothing but raw plant foods, living foods. And I have to tell you that I feel amazing and I'm down almost 14 pounds for the month, which is crazy. So my results have been nothing short of amazing. And that's just 30 days of being on this lifestyle. So I feel amazing. My skin is clearing up and I'm off of almost all of my medications, which is absolutely incredible. So follow along if you're new here. So am I. This is a brand new channel. So I'm so happy you're here. So I created this channel so you can follow along on my journey, but also hopefully it will inspire you to also want to eat more plant-based foods. If you're from the West Coast, then you're probably aware of In-N-Out, right? In-N-Out Burger. It's really popular out here. It's, if you eat meat, it's very delicious. It was the only fast food that I ate for probably the last 10 years when I ate meat. So today I'm going to make a rendition of the In-N-Out burger, double burger. You can have a regular burger though. You don't have to make it a double. But I am going to make a double today with a cashew cheese sauce. So follow along as I make this burger. Raw, 100% raw vegan burger. And you don't need a dehydrator either, which is fabulous. You can actually warm it up with a dehydrator if you wanted to. I personally just bought a dehydrator today, so I don't have one. But I've tried this before, and it's absolutely delicious without a dehydrator. Okay, guys, we're going to start this burger by soaking some walnuts for about 2 hours. So I have a cup of walnuts that have been soaking now for about 2 hours. So they should be perfectly ready to make our burger. So next, we'll make our mushroom marinade. So I always prefer organic mushrooms, but I went to my little Walmart by my house and they were out of organic. So I got these regular Baby Bella Monterey mushrooms. So I'm going to clean these up and then I'll be right back. So the mushrooms are all cleaned and sliced now. I also chopped up a whole jalapeno. Now you can leave this out if you don't like spice. I didn't include any of the seeds or anything, so I don't like it super spicy, but just the outside of the jalapeno. And then 1 clove of garlic. So we're going to make our marinade. Okay, so we have some coconut aminos. We're going to use about 3 tablespoons. Okay, we're going to add our jalapenos and our garlic. And we're going to give this a little stir. Now I had some extra mushrooms that I was using for something else. So I added this to this. So normally there's not this many mushrooms, but these mushrooms were also very big. So you might need a little bit more coconut aminos. It looks like we're going to need a little bit more. One thing about this raw lifestyle is I'm learning that you don't necessarily use exact measurements. You kind of have to go off of flavor profile and add as you go and adjust. So this is what they should look like. You're going to want to make sure that each of the mushrooms is marinated. I'm going to try to not use any more coconut aminos just because it is very salty, so we don't want to have it too crazy salty. And we might actually have enough. I'm going to grab a bigger bowl. All right, we'll add the rest here. And then we're going to let this sit for about an hour to just absorb all those flavors. And the coconut aminos is going to pull out a lot of the moisture in the mushrooms. So it's going to leave us a little more liquid once they've been marinating a while. All right, that looks great. So we're going to let that sit for an hour and we'll be back. All right, so I have a little food processor. This is my little baby. I need to get a bigger one, but this is what I'm using for right now. So use what you got. All right, so I've strained the walnuts, strained the water out of them. So we're going to put those in there. And our mushrooms, we're going to use a slotted spoon because you see all the liquid that's come out of the mushrooms here. We're going to save some of this so we can add it to the mixture as we go along. We don't want it too wet so it falls apart. I'm going to make, this might make 5 burgers because I had the extra mushrooms, but it should make about 4 burger patties. Okay, set that aside. We're going to add some unami seasoning, and you can find this on Amazon. I'll link this below, but this stuff's really good. It's made out of mushrooms, and it gives it that savory burger-like quality. So we're going to put about, I don't know, half a tablespoon or so. I'm kind of eyeballing this, so let's say half a tablespoon. We're going to put in a tablespoon of flax, ground flax. We're going to put some salt, just a tiny bit, and we're going to put some pepper. You don't really need, and if you don't want it too salty, don't put the salt. I actually probably should have not put salt. But some granulated garlic or garlic powder. Same thing, kind of eyeballing it, but rough guess, a tablespoon or so. And some onion powder, about the same. Okay, and then we're going to add some sun-dried tomatoes. Now this is in olive oil. This doesn't have the sulfites in it, so that's the one I get. And we're not going to add a ton of this oil. We're just going to add the sun-dried tomatoes to it. And I'm using about 5, I think. Yeah, 5 or 6. Let's see what that does. All right, we're going to give it a whiz here. And you're going to just pulse it until it gets that meat like consistency. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's done here. Now this thing was quite full, so I'm going to scrape this down a little bit. And the good thing about this is if it's not holding together, you can add a little bit more flax to it, and that helps bind it. And we're already getting some meat looking like stuff here. I'm going to do a few more rounds here. This one's small, and we need to break up those tomatoes a little bit more. So this looks terrific. This is perfect consistency, what we're looking for here. It looks like meat, and it's going to look even better when it's formed into patties. So I'm going to form this into some patties. I'll make the patties and make the cheese sauce next. Okay, you guys, I did add more flax to this because it was too wet. So I added 2 more tablespoons, and now it's perfect. So it's much more combined and more ground meaty. The last recipe I did, I only used 1 tablespoon. So I don't know what the deal is, but this one was just more, there was a lot more moisture in it. So you got to kind of play it by ear. But this is 3 tablespoons of flax in this one. And then I did add more garlic powder and tasted it to make sure the flavor was right. Okay, so let's make our patties. I now kind of have that attitude where I go down the other aisles for my husband in the store, and the food just looks so fake and like plastic chemicals. So it's not real food, you guys. It's just not real food. And, you know, when you start eating this way, you feel it. You absolutely will feel it. And it's the power of the plants. We're going to put this in the fridge. It's going to set, kind of mesh the flavors together. I like to leave it in there for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to make our cheese sauce. All right, guys, our burgers are in the fridge and they're setting. And so now we're going to make our cheese sauce. I like to use a NutriBullet, or I think that's what this thing is, or a Ninja. It's a Ninja, but I use these little cups to make my sauces. It's convenient and easy, but use a blender, whatever you have to make the sauce. If you have a blender, cool. If you have these little cups, they're really convenient. So let's do our cheese sauce. Okay, I've put about a cup of soaked cashews. That's another thing you'll want to have on hand is some soaked cashews. So now we're going to use 4 tablespoons. This is a half tablespoon, but about 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Got a couple, maybe 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. I like to add a little bit of onion powder, maybe 1 teaspoon or so. And a cap full of ACV, apple cider vinegar. And we're going to add some water, about a 1/4 cup of water. And we're gonna buzz it up. All right, so definitely needs salt and maybe a little bit more yeast. A little bit more garlic powder. See, with this, you have to just go kind of off taste, because I've followed a lot of recipes online and I had to add way more seasonings, but maybe it's just because my palate, I'm a foodie and I'm really used to flavors. This thing is so old. This Ninja is probably the original old OG Ninja that they had. Do half a lemon. Oops, got the seeds in there. Whoops-a-daisical. I only put about a tablespoon of lemon juice. All right, that's bomb.com right there. That's so good. Okay, so that's what it needed. It needed some lemon juice. All right, guys, so our cheese sauce is done, and it looks so good. It actually is very good. So good and creamy. Who knew you can make cheese sauce out of cashews? All right, we're gonna assemble our burger now. So I've cut up some iceberg lettuce, and we're gonna put our cheese sauce. And you can put whatever toppings you want on here. Avocado would be really good. Do whatever your little heart desires. I'm gonna put some onion. I'm gonna put some tomato. And we're going to put our little burger there. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this probably would be better in the dehydrator, since you could dehydrate it. It would probably cook a little bit and then mold together a little bit more. But you can also leave it in the fridge a little bit longer so that it holds together a little bit more firm. The flax is what's going to hold it together, so you absolutely have to have that. And then a little bit more sauce, maybe. That looks so good. And then I'm going to do another piece of lettuce on the in-between. So that'll be our middle. A little more sauce to hold it on. A little more sauce, because why not? And there you have it, a double protein style 100% raw vegan burger. Yummy. I hope you guys love this recipe as much as I do, and that it's just a reminder you can be so creative with plants. You can be so creative with plants, nuts, and seeds. It's amazing what you can create from them. honestly. My mind is blown. I thought I would be going into this with eating a lot of salads, but I really haven't eaten a lot of salads. I've been making all kinds of different things. So please subscribe if you want to follow along on my journey. And for more recipes, I'll be making and creating a lot more. Thanks for watching.